Welcome back, my silent executor. The one who mastered the rarest form of power. You stopped clapping back, didn't you? Stopped defending yourself, stopped explaining, stopped engaging with the noise. You just went quiet. And that's when something extraordinary started happening. Everyone who tried to play you, everyone who threw shade, everyone who spoke your name with disrespect, they started getting checked, hard, publicly, precisely, but not by you. Never by you. You were nowhere near the scene when karma pulled up. You were living your life, minding your frequency, operating in peace. Meanwhile, the universe was out here handling business on your behalf like a silent, hired hand you never even called. That's the level you've reached, where you don't need to defend your name because reality itself became your lawyer, where you don't need revenge because consequence is automated now, where you don't lift a finger, but everyone who crosses you somehow ends up facing themselves in the mirror, and they don't like what they see. See, most people think power is loud. They think strength means clapping back harder, being wittier, cutting deeper. But you learn something they haven't. Real power is restraint. It's the ability to stay silent when every part of you wants to react, to stay calm when provoked, to stay unbothered when attacked, because you realized something profound. When you're aligned, when you're operating from truth, you don't need to fight your battles. The universe fights them for you. Not because it owes you, but because that's how energy works. What people send out comes back. And when they send negativity towards someone who's centered, who's clear, who's protected by their own frequency, that energy has nowhere to go but back to the sender. Amplified, multiplied, unavoidable. You became so aligned that you're basically a spiritual mirror now. Whatever someone throws at you reflects back at them with interest, and you don't even have to think about it. It's automatic. They're confused now, watching their lives fall apart after they came for you, watching opportunities disappear, watching relationships crumble, watching their own words come back to haunt them, and they're looking around trying to figure out who did this to them. Who's behind their sudden string of bad luck. But there's no villain to point at, no enemy to blame, just the universe serving consequences with surgical precision. You didn't curse them, you didn't plot against them, you didn't even speak their name after they disrespected yours. You just kept vibrating at a frequency where lies can't survive and negativity combusts on contact. That's the protection you've built. Not through aggression, but through alignment. Not through revenge, but through resonance. You became so clear, so centered, so unshakably yourself that anyone who comes at you with corrupt energy gets dealt with by forces beyond the physical. And you're not even watching the fallout. You're too busy building, creating, ascending. You let karma handle the past while you design the future. That's why they're whispering now, why they're second-guessing before they speak on you, why even your enemies are telling others, don't mess with that one. Not because you threatened anyone, but because they've seen what happens. They've watched the pattern. They've witnessed the cosmic justice that shows up every single time someone tries to dim your light. You became untouchable not through force, but through frequency. And that frequency is saying something clear to the universe. This one is protected. This one doesn't play games. This one doesn't need defending, because truth defends itself. Let's talk about what actually changed in you. Because this isn't about luck. This isn't about coincidence. This is about evolution. You reached a level of self-mastery where reaction became optional. They'd say something disrespectful, and in the past, you would have engaged, corrected them, put them in their place. But now you just observe. You watch them reveal themselves and you feel nothing. No anger, no need to prove anything, no urge to defend, because you've detached from their opinion of you. You stopped measuring your worth by external validation, stopped letting other people's narratives affect your internal state. You became so secure in who you are that their lies couldn't even land. Like arrows bouncing off armor they didn't know you were wearing. And that armor? It's not made of aggression. It's made of indifference. The kind of indifference that comes from knowing your truth so deeply that fiction doesn't move you. This shift terrifies people who still operate from ego. Because ego needs reaction to feel powerful. It needs you to fight back, to get emotional, to show that you're affected. But when you don't give them that, when you stay completely neutral in the face of their attack, it breaks their psychology. They wanted smoke, and you gave them silence. They wanted war, and you gave them peace. They wanted to pull you into the mud, and you stayed on the mountain. That refusal to descend, that commitment to staying in your power, regardless of what they do. That's what triggers the cosmic correction. Because the universe recognizes maturity. It recognizes growth. It recognizes when someone has transcended the need to control outcomes and trusts divine timing instead. And when it sees that level of faith, that level of surrender, it steps in. Not because you asked for help, but because you earned protection by becoming unshakable. Now watch what happens to those who tested you. Their words start coming back to them. Things they said about you start applying to their own life. Judgments they made about you become their reality. It's like the universe held up a mirror and said, "You want to see what you accused them of? Look at yourself." And suddenly they're experiencing exactly what they wished on you. The job loss they celebrated when you went through it, theirs now. The relationship drama they gossiped about, theirs now. The struggle they mocked, theirs now. Not because you cursed them, because they cursed themselves. Energy doesn't forget. Words carry weight. And when you speak ill of someone who's protected, that protection turns your own words against you. It's not personal. It's physics. Spiritual physics, the kind that operates beyond what eyes can see, but what souls always feel. You started noticing the pattern. Every person who came for you eventually came back humbled, or they didn't come back at all because life checked them so thoroughly they couldn't face you. Either way, you won, without fighting, without scheming, without lowering yourself to their frequency. You won by staying high when they went low. You won by staying silent when they were loud. You won by staying centered when they were chaotic. And that's the victory they can never take from you. Because it's not built on their defeat. It's built on your discipline, your restraint, your refusal to let anyone drag you out of alignment. That's power they'll never understand. The power of someone who doesn't need to win arguments because they've already won themselves. Now let's address what they're really scared of. It's not that you don't clap back. It's that you don't need to. There's a difference. Someone who can't defend themselves stays quiet, out of fear. But you stay quiet out of choice, out of wisdom, out of the understanding that your energy is too valuable to waste on people who don't deserve access to it. They feel that distinction. They sense that your silence isn't weakness. It's weaponized peace, the kind of peace that makes them more uncomfortable than any insult ever could. Because when you don't react, they're forced to sit with their own actions, their own words, their own energy, and most people can't handle that. They need your reaction to distract them from their own reflection. But you removed that option. You made them face themselves, and what they saw scared them more than anything you could have said. This is why they start self-destructing, why their own behavior becomes their downfall. You're not plotting against them. You're not even thinking about them, but they're thinking about you, obsessing over why you won't engage, why you won't give them the satisfaction of knowing they got to you. And that obsession eats at them, keeps them up at night, makes them question everything. Meanwhile, you're sleeping, peacefully, unbothered, unaffected, living your life like they don't exist, because to you, they don't. You've mastered the art of energetic dismissal, not through hate, but through indifference, not through anger, but through detachment. You removed them from your consciousness so completely that the universe had to remove them from your reality. That's how powerful your focus is now. Whatever you give attention to grows, and you stopped giving them even a second of your mental energy. So they withered, faded, dissolved into irrelevance, while you ascended into significance. People are starting to notice this about you, that you move differently now, that you don't get pulled into drama, that you don't defend yourself against lies, because you know truth doesn't need defense, it just needs time, and time always reveals, so you let time do the work. You let reality expose what words never could. You let people's own actions become their testimony, and every single time, without fail, the truth comes out. Not because you fought for it, but because you trusted it. You believed in your character enough to let it speak for itself, and it did. Louder than any explanation, clearer than any defense, more powerful than any argument. Your life became the proof. Your peace became the evidence. Your growth became the testimony that everything they said about you was projection, was lies, was their own insecurity wearing your name as a mask. Now they can't even look at you, can't even be in the same room without feeling that weight, that knowing, that undeniable truth that they were wrong and you were right. But you don't rub it in. You don't gloat. You don't need to, because vindication tastes better when served by the universe than when forced by ego. You let life humble them. You let karma teach them. You let consequence be the lesson they couldn't learn any other way. And in doing that, you maintained your power, your peace, your position on the mountain while they scrambled in the valley. That's mastery. That's evolution. That's the difference between someone who has power and someone who is power. The silent ops are in full effect now. You've got protection you can't even see. Layers of defense that operate without your awareness or effort. Every time someone speaks your name with bad intent, something shifts in their reality. A delay, a block, a sudden obstacle that wasn't there before. They'll call it bad luck. They'll call it coincidence, but you know what it really is. It's the universe enforcing your boundaries when you're too elevated to do it yourself. You've reached a frequency where you don't have to fight because reality fights for you, where you don't have to defend because truth defends you, where you don't have to get revenge because justice is automated. That's not spiritual theory anymore. That's your lived experience. You've seen it happen too many times to call it random. The person who tried to sabotage your opportunity, mysteriously losing theirs. The one who spread lies about you getting exposed for their own deception. The one who celebrated your loss, facing an even bigger one, pattern after pattern after pattern, until you couldn't deny it. You're covered, protected, guarded by forces that don't need you to ask for help. They just know you're aligned, and alignment attracts assistance. The architects of karma are working overtime on your behalf, not because they favor you, but because you favor truth. And truth is the operating system of the universe. When you align with it completely, when you refuse to lie, even when lies would benefit you, when you stay honest, even when honesty costs you, you activate a cosmic contract, an agreement that says, I'll walk in integrity, and you'll handle anyone who doesn't. You didn't sign this consciously. You signed it with your choices every time you stayed silent instead of gossiping, every time you walked away instead of retaliating, every time you chose peace over being right. You were building credit in a bank that doesn't deal in currency. It deals in consequence, and now you're cashing in, not through your effort, but through natural law. The same law that says what goes up must come down. What goes around comes around. What you send out returns. You've been sending out integrity. So integrity surrounds you, protects you, avenges you when necessary. This is why you can move through life with such ease now. Why you're not paranoid. Why you're not looking over your shoulder. Why you're not worried about who's plotting against you. Because you know something they don't. You know that plots against the protected become prisons for the plotters. that schemes against the aligned become traps for the schemers. That energy sent with ill intent towards someone, vibrating in truth, comes back like a boomerang, faster, harder, more accurate. You've become untouchable, not because you're aggressive, but because you're authentic. And authenticity is the ultimate shield. It repels everything that isn't real, everything that isn't right, everything that isn't meant for you. So attacks don't land. They ricochet, and the attackers, they're the ones left wounded by their own weapons. You just keep walking, keep building, keep ascending, unbothered by their attempts because you're too aware of the protection to be afraid of the threats. Now they're careful, real careful. They've learned that crossing you costs more than they're willing to pay. That speaking on you brings more attention to their own flaws than yours. That trying to dim your light only makes theirs go out. So they stay quiet, or they speak with respect, or they don't speak at all. And you appreciate the peace. But you know it's not really about them changing. It's about you changing so profoundly that the universe had to rearrange everything around you to match your new frequency. Let's go deeper into this phenomenon, the silent retribution, the cosmic clapback, the way life itself becomes your advocate when you refuse to be your own. There's a science to this, a spiritual technology that most people never discover because they're too busy reacting to access it, but you found it. You stumbled into it by accident or walked into it with intention. Either way, you're here now, operating in a realm where cause and effect work in your favor, without your manipulation, where justice arrives without your summoning, where balance restores itself because you stopped trying to force it. This is the space of the truly powerful, the ones who've transcended ego enough to let divine order do what human effort can't. You stop trying to control outcomes, stop trying to make people see your side, stopped trying to prove you were right, and in that surrender, you gained more control than you ever had through force. Because now you're not using your energy to fight. You're using it to create, to build, to manifest the life you want instead of defending the life you have. This shift is visible to anyone paying attention. You're lighter now. There's less weight in your walk, less tension in your presence, less need to be seen or heard or validated. You've settled into a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words. People feel it when they're around you. That unshakable knowing, that calm certainty, that peaceful power that doesn't need to announce itself because it's undeniable on its own. You became the kind of person who makes others examine themselves just by being in the room, not through judgment, but through contrast. Your peace highlights their chaos. Your silence highlights their noise. Your stillness highlights their desperation. And in that highlighting, they either rise to meet you or retreat to avoid the mirror you've become. Either way, you win, because you're not trying to change anyone. You're just being so completely yourself that anyone fake can't exist comfortably in your presence. The ones who retreated, the ones who stopped coming around, the ones who chose distance over growth, they're the ones getting checked hardest, because they chose ego over evolution, chose pride over progress, chose to keep their illusions instead of facing truth. And life doesn't reward that. Life rewards growth, rewards honesty, rewards the courage to look at yourself and change what needs changing. You did that. You faced every shadow, integrated every lesson, owned every mistake, and in doing so, you cleared your energetic field so completely that nothing corrupt can stick to you now. You're too clean, too clear, too aligned. So when people try to project their dirt onto you, it slides right off, doesn't land, doesn't stay, and eventually it returns to them. Because energy knows where it came from, and energy doesn't lie about its origin. They're learning this the hard way, that you can't speak ill of someone who's in integrity and expect no consequences, that you can't try to damage someone who's protected and not damage yourself, that you can't send negativity toward light and expect anything but reflection. Now you're watching it happen in real time. The ones who wished you harm, facing harm. The ones who wanted you to fail, failing. The ones who tried to block your path, finding their own path, blocked. And you feel nothing. No satisfaction, no gloating, no sense of victory. Just observation, just witness. Just the quiet, knowing that the universe is always balancing the scales. And you don't need to be the one holding them. That's freedom. That's peace. That's power that doesn't corrupt. Because it doesn't come from domination. It comes from alignment. And alignment doesn't need to force anything. It just attracts what matches and repels what doesn't. Naturally, effortlessly, permanently. The most dangerous thing about you now isn't your words. It's your silence. The old you might have explained yourself, defended your character, corrected the record, but the new you let your life speak, let your results testify, let your peace be the evidence that everything they said was wrong. And that evidence is compelling, undeniable, impossible to refute. Because while they were talking about you were building. While they were gossiping, you were growing. While they were spreading lies, you were creating truth. And now the contrast is so stark that no explanation is needed. Anyone with eyes can see who was lying and who was living, who was stuck and who was moving, who was projecting and who was progressing. You became living proof that the best response to hate is elevation, that the best revenge is evolution, that the best defense is simply becoming so undeniably successful that lies about you sound ridiculous. This is what breaks them. Not that you fought back, but that you didn't need to. Not that you proved them wrong, but that you outgrew the need to prove anything. Not that you won the argument, but that you transcended the argument entirely. You moved into a dimension where their opinions don't register, where their words don't reach, where their energy doesn't affect. You built yourself a fortress of peace, so strong that nothing they throw can penetrate it. And that fortress, it's not made of walls, it's made of wholeness. You filled every crack in your foundation, healed every wound that used to be an entry point, cleared every belief that made you vulnerable. Now there's nothing for their negativity to attach to, nothing for their lies to exploit, nothing for their judgment to manipulate. You're complete, and completeness can't be broken by incompleteness. You're whole, and wholeness can't be damaged by fragmentation. You're aligned, and alignment can't be shaken by chaos. They're starting to realize they're fighting a battle they've already lost. That every attempt to bring you down only elevates you higher. That every lie they spread only makes your truth shine brighter. That every attack they launch only strengthens your protection. It's like you've turned their negativity into fuel, into motivation, into confirmation that you're on the right path. Because if you weren't, they wouldn't care enough to come for you. You learned to read opposition as validation, resistance as redirection, attacks as indicators that you're close to something they don't want you to reach. So instead of retreating when they came for you, you leaned in. You kept going. You used their hate as a compass, pointing toward your destiny. And you followed it. Straight into the life they said you'd never have. Straight into the peace they said you'd never find. Straight into the power they said you'd never possess. Now they're silent. Because what can you say about someone who turned every obstacle into an opportunity, who transformed every attack into ammunition, who used every betrayal as a boundary-setting lesson? They thought throwing dirt would bury you, but dirt is just soil, and you're a seed. So you took what they meant for destruction and used it for growth. Took what they meant to break you and let it build you. Took what they meant to end you and let it begin you. You became the phoenix they never saw coming, the comeback they didn't believe was possible, the success story they wanted to prevent. And the most beautiful part? You're not even done yet. This is just the beginning, the foundation, the first chapter of a story they'll be forced to watch unfold while pretending they weren't the ones who tried to stop it. Now let's talk about the silent watchers, the ones who never said anything out loud but quietly rooted for your downfall. The ones who smiled in your face but celebrated your struggles in private. The ones who pretended to support you but secretly hoped you'd fail so they could feel better about their own stagnation. You know who they are, not because they revealed themselves with words, but because energy doesn't lie. You felt their insincerity, sensed their jealousy, detected their fakeness beneath the performance of friendship. And instead of confronting them, instead of exposing them, instead of cutting them off dramatically, you just quietly created distance. You didn't announce it. You didn't make it obvious. You just stopped giving them access, stopped sharing your wins, stopped seeking their approval, stopped including them in your inner world. And that distance became the space where their true colors showed. Because when you stopped feeding them information, they had nothing to use against you, nothing to gossip about, nothing to diminish. And in that vacuum, they revealed themselves to everyone else. Their bitterness became obvious. Their jealousy became loud. Their fakeness became undeniable. Without you saying a word, that's the power of strategic withdrawal. You don't have to expose fake people. You just have to stop protecting them from themselves. Stop covering for their character. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt when their actions repeatedly show you who they are. You removed yourself from their narrative, and in doing so, you let their narrative speak for itself, and what it said was ugly. What it revealed was toxic. What it exposed was exactly what you suspected, but were too kind to call out. Now others see it too. Now others feel it too. Now others are distancing themselves too. Not because you told them to, but because authenticity is magnetic. And once they saw yours, once they felt your peace, once they witnessed your growth, they couldn't unsee the contrast, couldn't unfeel the difference, couldn't ignore how light you became while those fake ones stayed heavy. Your elevation became their exposure. Your freedom became their prison. Your peace became their chaos. And you didn't have to orchestrate any of it. You just had to keep being real while they kept being fake. And reality took care of the rest. The universe has a funny way of revealing people's intentions, not through dramatic confrontations, but through consistent patterns, through repeated behaviors, through the things they do when they think you're not watching. And you've become watchful, not paranoid, not suspicious, just aware. You notice things now, subtleties, inconsistencies, the gap between what people say and what they do, between how they act publicly and how they move privately, between who they claim to be and who they reveal themselves to be when tested. And that awareness protects you, because you're not making decisions based on hope or potential anymore. You're making them based on evidence and pattern. You're not giving people endless chances to prove they care. You're watching their first actions and believing them. You're not waiting for the perfect betrayal to justify your exit. You're leaving at the first sign of misalignment. That's growth. That's wisdom. That's the evolution from someone who tolerates disrespect to someone who doesn't even allow it in the room. You changed the entry requirements, raised the standards, made it clear through your boundaries that access to you is earned, not given. And those who couldn't meet the standard filtered themselves out, saved you the trouble of removing them, showed you through their departure that they were never meant to stay, and you let them go, without explanation, without argument, without trying to convince them of your worth. Because if they couldn't see it, they didn't deserve to witness it. The shift is complete now. You've fully embodied the energy of someone who doesn't need external validation to know their value. Someone who doesn't need to be loud to be heard. Someone who doesn't need to react to be respected. This transformation wasn't overnight. It was built through countless moments of choosing restraint over reaction, silence over defense, peace over being right. Every time you wanted to clap back but didn't. You were building this new version of yourself. Every time you wanted to expose someone but chose privacy instead. You were strengthening your character, Every time you wanted to prove yourself but chose to trust time instead, you were investing in a future where proof wouldn't be necessary because results would be undeniable. And now you're living in that future, the one where your life speaks louder than any words could, where your success silences every criticism, where your peace invalidates every judgment. You don't need to defend yourself because your existence is the defense. You don't need to fight battles because your alignment fights them for you. You don't need revenge because consequence is automatic. This is the realm of true power, the space where you're so secure in yourself that nothing external can destabilize you, where you're so clear on your path that no one can redirect you, where you're so confident in your truth that no lie can convince you otherwise. You've become immovable, not through stubbornness but through certainty, not through rigidity but through rootedness. You're planted so deep in your truth that storms can't uproot you, chaos can't shake you, attacks can't break you. You've grown roots that go beyond surface emotions and tap into something eternal, something unshakable, something that exists independent of circumstances, opinions, or outcomes. You've connected to Source, to the part of you that existed before this life and will exist after it. And from that connection, you draw strength that doesn't deplete, peace that doesn't waver, power that doesn't corrupt. That's what they feel when they encounter you now. That depth, that presence, that undeniable knowing that you're operating from somewhere they haven't reached yet. And here's the beautiful paradox. The less you care about proving them wrong, the more wrong they prove themselves to be. The less you care about defending your character, the more your character defends itself. The less you care about getting revenge, the more life avenges you automatically. It's like the universe rewards non-attachment, rewards surrender, rewards the faith to let things unfold without forcing them. You stopped trying to control how people perceive you, and in that release, you gained more control over your reality than you ever had through effort. You stopped managing your image, and your authentic self became more magnetic than any persona could be. You stopped performing for approval, and the right people started appreciating you without performance. Everything you stopped doing created space for what you actually wanted. Everything you released made room for what you actually needed. Everything you let go of cleared the path for what was actually meant for you. Now you're living in alignment so complete that even your challenges feel purposeful. Even your setbacks feel like setups. Even your losses feel like lessons that position you for bigger wins. You've developed an unshakable faith that everything is working for you, not against you, that every person who exits was clearing space for someone better, that every door that closes is redirecting you to one that's meant to open, that every delay is protecting you from something you can't see yet. You trust the process, trust the timing, trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you're meant to become, and that trust is your superpower. Because when you trust life, life trusts you back. It gives you more, shows you more, reveals more, because it knows you can handle it. It knows you won't break. It knows you'll use everything for growth instead of excuses.